Hello, Scorpio. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. And oh, my apologies for being late. As a lot of you guys know, I have not been feeling the greatest, and please forgive my voice. But thank you so much, you guys, for being here. All right, Scorpio, this is a little bit troublesome, and there's a couple of things that I feel about it, but it's always tea time. Eternity, endless moments, and repetition, and then you amplified it with round and round. Which, if tea time wasn't bad enough, this one coming through, I was like, God damn it, really? Now, there's a part of me that wants to throw like a fit and go, no, why? Why are we doing this? But the thing is I can't scold any of you who are going through a situation right now where you feel like I need to do it one more time. I need to try this one more time, even though you know what's going to happen. Okay, so it's always tea time. This is talking about repetition, cycles, patterns, endless loops, being trapped by schedules and routines. It's saying that there needs to be a break. There needs to be a break with this repetitive pattern and with round and round. The thing is we may be continuing to do this because we haven't quite learned a lesson yet. It actually talks about the spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated. But it's also talking about a cycle where you're going to be challenged to break it. The good news here is that even if you are revisiting a routine or a pattern with round and round, you're going to be put at a higher perspective where you're going to see the situation differently. And you're going to be able to shut the door on it, go, lesson learned, I'm done with this, I'm not going around with this again. Now, that's going to be for those of you who haven't quite learned the lesson yet. It's like, okay, you're not done, so we're going to have to go through it again. And for you, it's going to feel like this is the same shit over again. But like I said, the good news here is that this is it. You're never going to do it again after this. We're done. It will be lesson learned. I'm through with this. Now, for those of you who are like, I need to do this one more time, you're going to be disappointed if you think things are going to change. And I think that that's where round and round is coming through. You're going to be forced to see it from a very different perspective where, this could completely drain you this time, and it's not something that you're ever going to want to do again. All right, Scorp, here we go. Here's your overall, the Hangman. Okay, and talking about a different perspective. There you go. Now, for some of you, we could be talking about, a situation that just isn't moving forward right now. I don't necessarily feel like self-sacrifice, but for a lot of you, it's just, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to act. I need to see things differently first, or I need to see more. There's something else that I need to see. But changing perspective, definitely. Now, in the past, the Three of Wands, I gotcha. So with the Three of Wands in the past, this is like putting yourself out there, but nothing is really happening with the Hangman. And maybe the perspective is okay, well, maybe I need to change my tactic. But I look at the Three of Wands and I think of expansion. I also think about, like waiting to see how a situation is going to develop. But, nothing is really happening here between the two. Now, for some of you, you could be looking to expand your business. For others of you, you may be looking to expand the people that you have in your life. But I also look at this as like the future, the long term, But I always feel like with the Three of Wands that this is one of those things where you should already know what to expect, But you may be waiting to see how something is going to work out after you've put yourself out there. Now, in the present, the Eight of Coins, busting your ass, work, putting in a lot of effort. Now, typically with the Eight of Coins, I look at that and I think that this is somebody, first of all, who clearly knows what they're doing. But usually it's somebody who is happy with what they're working toward and, seeing the financial results of that. But the thing is with what's going on here, I feel like for some of you, it's like you're waiting for something to come through. And in the present moment here, we're really working hard, and some of you may just only be focused on the work that needs to be done while, you're waiting for something else to show up. Now, in terms of career, it looks really good in terms of progression. I just don't like the Hangman, because we're talking about things being in a state of limbo or you being that way. But of course, I want to see what's going on in the environment. But working, putting in a lot of effort. Oh, Scorp, okay. And this may be exactly what you've been waiting for. But why is that, there's a need to see a perspective differently? With the Wheel of Fortune, right? And then you, oh God, and then the Oracle cards. The Wheel of Fortune normally is going to be a fortunate turn of events. It is fate kind of like stepping in and going, okay, here's this opportunity, right? But what goes up must come down, right? Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. It can show repeating cycles. But the Hangman, it's like this is what you have wanted, but you can't quite act on it yet. It's interesting. Oh, Scorpio. Your best path to follow, the Ace of Cups. You need a new beginning where you can feel good again, where you can fill that cup, so to speak. We need a new beginning where there's going to be happiness and bliss and emotional fulfillment and all those wonderful things with the Ace of Cups, because I feel like it's lacking. But I don't know that you know what's going to bring that to you right now with the Hangman. Now, for some of you, you're like holding off on doing anything right now because you may still be waiting for something to show up. And with the Wheel of Fortune, right, this is the opportunity coming around. But what is it that you think is going to bring you this emotional fulfillment? Because I look at this and I think if the Ace of Cups is there, you need to take advantage of this and do what's necessary to refill your cup, right? And I look at this and think you need to take advantage of this opportunity because it may bring you a lot more happiness than what you may think that you're seeing right now. Maybe it isn't exactly what you had expected with all the effort that you've been putting through, but it's still the Ace of Cups. Wow, man. In your environment, the Queen of Pentacles. And I look at that and I think whether you're male or female, especially with the Eight of Pentacles, for a lot of you, you've just kind of been, really working hard and focusing on yourself. And not that you're being selfish, but when you look at the Queen of Pentacles, right, she goes to work, she pays the bills, she makes sure that, everybody is taken care of, right? Like I look at her as, the type of woman that's constantly, as soon as she gets home, she's making supper, and then she's doing the laundry, and then she's making sure that everybody's taken care of. And then it's sleeping right back to work, right? And then I look at the endless pattern, Now, for some of you, this could be about a person, could be male or female. We could be talking about Earth here. But, security comes up with her though, too. Needing to feel secure. But I kind of look at this and think that, for some Scorpios right now, man, you're really focused on the everyday, the physical, working, paying the bills, all that shit. And working really hard at that. And there's something that you've put out there and you're waiting for it. You're waiting for it to come in and it's right here. Oh, Scorpio. This is the first time I've seen this card this week out of this deck. I've seen the Ace of Cups plenty. But the Lovers? Have I seen the Lovers? I don't know. I might have. I can't remember. I'm too sick to try to remember anything right now. Anyway, your hopes and fears, the Lovers. This could be, for a lot of you, a major choice that you're making in terms of your relationships or your love life. I always look at the Lovers and I think of, and I think I might have said this before, the Fool learning what love is, So I do look at this as like, the very significant relationship. It's not about just like understanding, like with the Two of Cups here, this is much bigger. Now, for some of you, it is just the major life choice, especially in terms of career, but the choice that you make is going to be a very significant one. But it's interesting when we look at the Ace of Cups and then I think about, okay, so if you're making a choice here, what do you think is going to bring you this new start and this new emotional fulfillment? Because the opportunity is coming around to you, but some of you may be fearing that you're going to make the wrong choice. Meanwhile, in the present moment, right, all you see is, man, I got to go to work. I got to take care of this. I got to take care of that. And some of you have been putting in a lot of hard work toward yourself, right? And that can be the case with the Queen of Coins. But the Lovers, man, as far as hopes and fears, that's big. And it's no wonder why the Hangman's sitting there, putting in all this effort to, be faced with a choice and not knowing if it's going to bring you, what you're wanting to start, what you've been putting out there. But again, the Eight of Coins, right? The effort pays off. Oh my God. And there you are, Death, with the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, now I understand. If a major life choice is about to be made, something is definitely going to come to an end. But remember, when death comes through, it's trying to show you something, right? It's never an easy thing to go through this, but there has to be an ending of one way of being in order for there to be the transformation. The sun is always coming up with death, but it's a fortunate turn of events with the wheel. Now, if we're talking about you repeating a cycle, though, with death, right, this may be one of those things where it's not going to come back around again. But I would rather not look at it that way. But I can understand the hesitation and the want to kind of like wait to kind of see what's going to happen here. And then the Empress. Wow, Scorp. Oh my God. Okay. The Two of Swords. Let's talk about that first. This is not wanting to make a choice, not wanting to have to make a difficult choice. Now, the thing is, though, is with the Three of Wands, it's almost like what's coming through to you or what has come through to you in the past, it's something that you have ignored. You didn't want to see it, but you have to make this choice, right? You may feel like your hands are tied, but it's just, I don't want to deal with this right now. And death is saying, yeah, we're definitely going to have to do the difficult thing here and end something in a really big way. Now, meanwhile, there's a whole lot of work and effort being put into, security and stability, things like that, and feeling secure, feeling confident and independent, definitely with the Queen of Coins. And then you have the Ace of Wands that's showing up. And this may be where the problem lies. You may have thought that a situation was going to go in a certain direction, but if you have a new opportunity coming through, this is where, you're going to have to make a choice here to cut something out, right? Before you can begin something that lights a fire for you, because we're talking about passion, that drive to want to act toward this. For some of you, it could be creative, right? And then you have the Empress with the Wheel of Fortune looking at the Hangman and death. This is a big thing, big thing. If you allow the change, whether you're male or female, the Empress here is saying that you're going to be in a place where you're going to be able to create whatever you want, right? It's beauty, abundance, bringing things to life. With the Ace of Wands, it's perfect. And then you have this Ace of Cups. But the thing is this is such a big thing for you that it's like once you make a choice, there is no going back. We can't go backward. And that may be the biggest problem. And I can understand that for a lot of people, especially if it's like, let's just say that this is in terms of career. You've been waiting for this opportunity to come around. Here it is. But you feel like your hands are tied. We can't really, cut something out just yet or make that difficult choice to begin something new. But when you do, you end up as the Empress. But this is like, I don't know, I can't really do this yet because I'm tied into something that you're already working on or already putting effort into. This may literally be like having to quit something, but wanting to feel, secure about the amount of effort that you've put in before you leave a situation and begin something new. For some of you, this is straight up love. You may be putting effort into something right now or a relationship right now, but what you've been wanting and what you've been putting out there is coming around to you. But because you've been putting so much effort into something in the present moment, looking at the Hangman, it would make sense that, this is one of those choices where we can't turn around. After it's made, that's it. Are we making the right choice, right? but it's all about you needing to follow what is going to bring you the emotional fulfillment. If you're continuously putting effort into something that you already know is going to go in a certain direction, then it would make sense that what you've been putting out there is something that you may need to look at a little bit differently in terms of it bringing you happiness, right? I kind of look at this, Scorpio, and I think that if you are faced with a major life choice right now, whether it has to do with relationship or career, doesn't matter to me here. Something is going to come to an end and it's going to change your life. And this is nothing new for Scorpio going through the death cycle, right? But this is big. You can't hold this off. You can't ignore this. You're going to have to make a choice. The thing is if that means doing something difficult or ending something, you have to forgive yourself. You can't hold on to any kind of regrets moving forward. But the thing is you can't ignore the way that you feel, right? You have to give in to the emotions that are going on around this, especially when it comes to happiness and wanting to have that happiness. Because I look at that Ace of Cups and I think, damn it, Scorp, you have to do what's going to make you feel good, even if it changes your life in a really big way where you can't ever go back to how things were, but you put this out there. And that's what I'm going back to with that Three of Wands. Now, in terms of, if you have to end a relationship in order to begin a new one, you have to forgive yourself for doing what is necessary to create your happiness. But also, if anybody has done you wrong, there's no point in holding on to that. It needs to be released, right? But that can only happen when you're truly feeling what is going on. But this is big, but it looks great, Scorp. It's something that I think it's not like the tower where things are collapsing, but it's like a definitive moment for sure. And, I look at death and I think that's nothing new for Scorpio, but this is so different. It's so different. And it's funny because a lot of times I have to have discussions with people when it comes to the death card because they don't understand. When death comes in, you don't have a choice. If you've been putting something out there, if you've been putting a prayer out there, Scorpio, don't be surprised when it comes around because it's exactly what you've been wanting. It's exactly what you've been putting out there, but it's going to come at a cost. Okay. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. But if you've been repeating a pattern, that's where death comes in and says, okay, if you're not going to take care of it, we will. And it's never an easy thing. But where you come out with the Empress and the Wheel of Fortune, with the Hangman, I would say you can't continue to stay in limbo on this. Eventually you're going to have to gain your perspective and you're going to have to jump down off of that fucking tree and you're going to have to make a choice. Death will come in after that. But for some of you, if you don't want that Ace of Cups, if you don't want to experience the Lovers, then you can continue what you're doing with that Eight of Coins and the Queen of Pentacles. Man, you guys are going to have to let me know on this one because this one just seems really big to me. Like I'm being faced with some like major fucking thing going on. And I'm looking at it going, oh shit. But what you get out of it though looks so good. So good. And it's exactly what you've been putting out there.